Yo, what's up, everyone? We are going to be starting soon. Hang on tight. I'm getting chat set up. We have actually, um, like all the platforms, all four platforms, chat open. I have a new screen that I can read all of them. So I think I just have to set up the windows. So hello everyone, welcome to the stream. Yeah, just give me 1 second and we'll be chilling. All right, now I just need to get the chat on Twitch. How do I do that? On the dashboard. Stream info. Wonder if I just open my chat. Okay, here's this, and then where's the chat? Can I pop this out? Picture in picture? No. Theater mode. I think that'll work. Ah, there you go. That'll work. All right. What's up, everybody? Hello, TikTok. Hello, Instagram. Hello, Twitch. Hello, YouTube. Silverio, what's up? What's up, Dex? Yo, thanks for staying up or waking up for this stream. We are cooking. Okay, so I think you see me here. I actually don't have the updated stream schedule at the moment. So let me try to update that real quick. I know, scuffed, slow, small, scuffed start, but we'll get there. We'll get there. Okay, so I'm fixing it for the vertical people. All right, all right. And let's drag this guy this way. All right, so, you know, I wonder if I can really quickly update the stream schedule just so we can go through what we're doing today, because it is really exciting. Now, I'm not going to be talking as loudly as I normally do today because it is late night and I don't want to wake up any neighbors around the wall. So totally apologize. Hello, Carrie from TikTok. Thanks for joining in the stream. But yeah, just give me 1 second and I will be all good to go. All right, here we go. Let's duplicate this and do okay. All right, so there are a few things we're going to do before we get into the main content of today. Now, I noticed someone here, I think Eric, you had a question about the Sword and Shield model. So I'll answer that. And I think what we can do as we start, normally we do the Origami-dan review, like at the start of the stream. But I might also be doing some Q&A answers if I get them throughout the week and cover them at the beginning of the stream, if I notice the people here. So at least for today, we're going to do that. And then the Origami-dan review is going to be a little bit shorter because we're doing a Death Battle review, which is in the Discord as well. So it's kind of a 2-in-1, but that's going to be really exciting. You know, the title of this stream is, you know, the best origami seen all year. And that's not clickbait. There are some absolutely insane submissions this time around. If you were here last stream when we looked over the Death Battle review, yeah, those submissions were also absolutely insane. So this round's no exception. People are still going very hard to win. It's a cash prize. It's a pretty decent prize. So, you know, this is a competition to really look for. In fact, this is one of the only competitions that there is a direct cash prize for origami. So this is super exciting. All right, so sorry for the scuff. We have this loading up right now. So I'm going to update the schedule and then I'm going to share this stream to Discord and stuff just to notify people that we are live And we are ready to go. All right, so yeah, hello Instagram. Instagram chat is like going real fast. I think Nighton, hello, you said hi. I don't think anyone else has said hi yet, but yeah, I think I can see all three chats. So this is good. This is very good. And I'll do my best to read everyone's questions and responses. And yeah, we'll be good. So what's up? What's up? Alrighty. So this is gonna be interesting. I know in the past we've only been able to read YouTube comments. Now we're able to read everyone's. So from wherever you are watching, I welcome you. Thank you for joining. We're gonna do some quick, management stuff with Sharon's stream, but we are going to be starting very soon. And then Eric, since you're here, just for context for people to know, feel free to drop in the YouTube chat whatever question you had about the Sword and Shield model again. I think I remember it, but just drop it into chat and I'll get to it right there, and we'll be good. Yeah, hello everyone. Will you make a tutorial for the one-headed dragon? So I don't think so. It might. I think it's redundant because there's the two-head tutorial, and the deal currently is if you fold the two-headed dragon and you send me a picture, I'll give you the crease pattern for the one-head dragon, because it's pretty similar. So if you folded the two-headed one, I know you'll be able to do the one-headed dragon. There is a vote coming up when I hit 20,000 subscribers for what the next tutorial is, and so I was considering putting it in there, but I don't think it's actually that valuable for people to use, just because it basically has a tutorial already. You just have to do some work before you earn it. So yeah, you can earn the crease pattern for free by folding the two-headed dragon, and you also get the three-headed dragon crease pattern as well. Okay, let me post this. We are live now. Come hang out and chat. All right. Copy message link, and we are good to go. We'll drop this in general too. All right. Awesome. So yes. So we got today on our schedule, we got our Origami-dan review as well as Q&A, and then we got Origami battle review. That's gonna be our main piece of content. And I'm also going to record a video, and this time I'm going to actually try to hit the record button. I keep forgetting to record it, and then I have to download the entire stream later. But we'll try to remember. And then this will also be a YouTube video. So if some of you can't stay till the end, no worries. I'm going to be posting the Origami review like through and through afterwards. So it'll be its own video. It'll be edited down a little bit. People really liked it last time, actually, even though it was really long. I think people enjoyed hearing what I had to critique about some of the models, and also just see their folds featured, which is pretty cool. And then lastly, I have tips and tricks on there. I'm kind of moving that to the front just because we're going to answer some questions right away. But yes, so let's get to it. I know this camera is kind of just blocking my face a little bit, but let's see if this works. So we're going to flip on over to here. Cool, we can see my phone. You can see my legs a little bit. Okay, that's kind of a weird view. Let's pull it this way. There we go. And okay, so Eric was wondering about the back of the Sword and Shield look. Okay, what does the back of the Sword and Shield look like? And this is a common question I get, just because some people get confused by the crease pattern. So let me show you what that's like. And then let me also make sure my drawing tool is measured up this time. Okay, we're good to go here. This guy needs to be reset to transform, fit the screen. Okay, there you go. All right. Let me just test this really quickly. All right, so you can see this. Perfect. Okay, cool. All right, but I don't think I'll need that for this one. So I have a test fold right now, and this is actually the reason I'm doing this, some context, is I'm actually teaching this at the Origami USA convention coming up soon in New York City. And it's kind of a crazy model to teach. I don't think it's that hard, but there is some shaping that we have to do. It is a harder model than what's generally taught in person. And, it's got some paper requirements. Generally at conventions, a lot of the models can be taught with simple kami or maybe even like a 25 centimeter sheet, 10-inch paper. This one needs to be a little bit larger than that. And the box pleat sequence and crease pattern collapse, again, is not something you generally see taught. So this is definitely going to be the most complex thing I've personally taught at a convention live. It's a 3-hour class or a 2-hour and 45-minute class, but we might have time to go over, and I have practiced speed running it. So hopefully it'll be okay. I think everyone will at least be able to get, part of the shaping done. They might not fully finish, but I'll be able to teach all of it. But it's a pretty cool design, right? Pretty cool design. Yo, the Volan. Hey, thank you for the tier 1 subbed for 14 months. That's crazy. Yo, thanks, man. By the way, Volan, I think you're in the Discord, right? I could be wrong, but if you're not, hit me up. Twitch subs definitely get to be in the members Discord. I just can't remember if I've seen you in there. I know I haven't onboarded all the Twitch subs, but yo, thank you so much. What about the depiction of you in the middle of the backflip? Okay, so that's coming soon. I had to put a paw. You can tell my background is different, right? So I'm at Studio B, Origami by Boy Studio B right now. I return to Studio A next week, and that's where the project of the backflip stuff is going on. I don't know if I'm going to finish that in time for the origami convention, but that's like the next big project that I'm currently working on. So you'll see that soon. We'll see how much time I actually have to get that ready. Yep. Okay, you are in this. Thanks. Yo, yeah. Thanks to Volan. Yo, shout out. 14 months. That's a long time. Yo, dude, thanks for the support. You helped make this channel happen. That's good stuff. Yo, what's up, Steve? Stocking to fold. Hello. Someone. Let's see, Luis. You forgot to ask English or Spanish, man. You didn't do it correctly. Okay. So let's answer Eric's question. I know I stalled a little bit. Okay, I can't. Sorry if it's out of focus. My camera's blocking my screen for me a little bit. But the back. Okay, so this is the trick with this sword and shield. And this design, like the test pilot, is the class in the origami convention. But it may become a YouTube tutorial if you all vote for it. So if you really like this design, think it's really cool, you might be able to get a tutorial for it if that's what wins. So I'm actually going to be making that poll very soon because I think we're just at 19,000. So we're on our way to 20,000. Estimate by the end of the month, I think, which is pretty cool. But yeah, so the tricky part is actually what happens here. So the crease pattern has it flat, which is probably confusing because it looks like the torso will be way too long. But when you fold it into a stick like this, you actually have to consume a unit right here for the legs. So you can see they're just like a rabbit-eared in to make it fold. And then from there, there's a small flap underneath the sword arm. And that wraps around the back to kind of hide it. And you can just squash fold it and it'll cover the back. So that's what that little flap is. But for the most part, it's just a stick of the layers all together. So Eric, hopefully that makes sense. And then once you have that, then you'll realize that the flaps between the legs on the edge can fold up and become the torso armor, right? And it just goes right up to the neck. I fold the tip down a little bit so it's not sticking out. And that's pretty much all there is to it. Yeah, that's a little tip. This is a pretty cool design, but the crease pattern does get a little tricky. So I do think that's why it'll make it a good tutorial. So I can explain some of the shaping. Because a lot of times it's more confusing than it is hard. The folding might actually be pretty easy. But yeah, great question. Let's move on to the Discord review. And once again, if you all have questions in the future, feel free to ask them to me in YouTube comments or something. If you want a more direct answer, a lot of times you can go to Instagram and I'll answer it there. But if it's on YouTube, if I remember, I'll probably just answer it during the stream if you tune in. All right, so here we are. We are in the Discord. I'm going to get my drawing tool up and ready. Here we go. Is this working? Yeah, so we can draw on like that. Let's see if that's lined up for everyone. Okay, it's a little bit off for vertical people. Let me adjust this screen share a little bit. Okay. I think that should be good. All right, so it might be like a little bit off. Ooh, that's a little off. Okay. Okay, and then this one needs to... All right, we just have to fit the screen like that. Okay, so now I think we're good to go if I start drawing on this. Okay, it's a little bit off for vertical. So I apologize if my drawing's messy, but hopefully it makes sense. All right, let's get going. Oh my goodness, all right, no, someone said I'm cute. Okay, that's weird. Hello, boys. Fave number 1, thank you for joining. The default scroll, okay, there we go. I think it's reset now. All right, there we go. So now I can see Instagram as well. All right, so let's get into, before we get into the death battle, which I'll do a quick scroll. You can see there's amazing folds. We are going to take a quick look at Hall of Fame. Actually, maybe we'll skip that one because we're going to review it later. We'll take a look at this one. So starting off a review of Hall of Fame, we've got, I think, 2 to really go over. This one we're going to start off with a guy, o.v.gangs on Instagram. It's looks like I can't pronounce that correctly, but a Vietnamese folder with a dragon, and this is a really organically shaped dragon, but really well done. So if you look very closely, you can notice there's a lot of details like these spines. We got an eye. A lot of times dragons, when they look origami, you can see the folds, and in this one it's actually hiding a lot of the seams and just going for the use of like pleats to really get a dragon wing going. So you don't see as much of the paper itself, and you see more of a dragon. And this shaping style is honestly very hard to do because it can look very messy if you do it incorrectly. But in this case, this guy did it very cleanly. It looks really nice, I must say. So well done. Definitely a Hall of Fame worthy dragon. And speaking of dragons, we have another dragon in the Hall of Fame, and this is the Kami Hyujin by Leave-In. So you guys are all probably familiar with the Ryujin 3.5 design, and if you are not, then it is a one square dragon designed by Satoshi Kamiya that has like around 2,000 individually folded scales. Really legendary design. It pioneered a lot of stuff like using Pythagorean stretches. And this one is folded by Leave-In, who's from Belgium, and he used regular origami paper of various colors taped together to make a square. So if you're thinking like, hey, I don't have that much paper, I can't do anything with what I have, wrong. You can use what you have and go really far. Should you? Probably not, but at least you can start and get used to it, because it shows that at least in terms of physical capability, there is really no limit. Like this is probably the worst way to make paper this size and the worst paper choice to even consider folding this dragon from. But because Leave-In is just so good, he made it work, right? This is just like a skill diff, but it's also proof that, hey, you can work on stuff even if you don't have the best. You just need to like recognize your kind of situation and what you want to do. So probably can't expect a result like this, but at least you can work towards something. And then you should always be looking, I guess now I have the folding skills, now let's just increase my paper making skills and go from there. And then you can have a lot of fun like this. So this just comes from a big understanding of folding. So a strong foundation in folding first to do something absolutely crazy. This never in ever since that paper kami was created, no one probably ever thought it would be used for something like this. It's actually insane. Yo, William CH, thanks for joining the TikTok stream. And IULY43211, thank you for chatting. First time chat. Welcome to the stream on Twitch. Hope you're having a good time. Let me know if you got any questions and I'll get to you. Dex, the Kami Fusion is insane. Yeah, it's super cool. Peter says, astonishing project, even without scale shaping. Yeah, you know, it's probably smart that Levin didn't shape the scales, because shaping scales just like doubles the amount of folding time you have to do, and it can potentially ruin the cleanliness. So in this case, with the size and the material, totally fair play to not shape the scales. I think only, you know, really experienced origami folders will actually notice that the scales aren't shaped, or people who just aren't as familiar with the design. And because like from afar you can see the scales, it's just if you look closely and you know, then it's like, it's not quite shaped, but it's actually insane. Artogami says he actually asked everyone at Lyon to fold every grid. So before it was taped, I guess people helped fold the grid. I think some people drew on the underside and signed it. So it's like a community effort to create this ridiculous paper, and Levin worked his magic on it. So that's pretty insane. Okay, let's read some of the chat from YouTube. Okay, Eric understood. Sweet. I'm glad that helped. Let me know if you have other questions with that design. Okay, so I signed up for my class. I think I signed up for John's in priority instead. If you do a tutorial, I think that'll kind of... Yeah, so low key, that class of this guy. Sorry, I moved the camera. One thing I forgot to mention. So I have some background information, but there's only supposed to be 10 slots for this class, just because that's the max amount of people I think I can realistically help one-on-one to fold this successfully in 3 hours. There might be some exceptions on the amount of people if I know they don't really need my help. They just need, you know, general guidance on shaping, but they could pretty much collapse it themselves. So for some of those people, they're going to be welcome in. It's going to be a case-by-case exception. Because it's basically like, if you didn't get it but you still want to fold it, you can join. I just won't be able to help you as directly, but I'll still be able to help. It's just like, you know, you got to understand, if you're a first time folder, you cannot rely on me if you didn't get the class. But yeah, I think there's 10 slots, and I think there's been like 46 signups for the class, so it's going to be tight on who actually gets in. I apologize in advance. I knew that there'd probably be some scheduling conflict. I didn't realize it was going to be that popular to be signed up for, because I thought I made it sound really scary from the description I had in the class. It's like, okay, I'm just kind of targeting some more advanced folders, but hey, who knows? And maybe we'll get more than that who are willing to just try. And that'd be cool too. So that'll be fun to teach. I'm super excited for this. It's the first day as well. The past like 2 conventions, my classes have been on like Monday, like my big class I wanted. And a lot of people leave on Monday because, you know, they have to go back to work. But this time my class is on Saturday. So, hey, people get to take my class. It's going to be really fun. Actually, I'm teaching a class, I think, Friday, Saturday, and Monday, which is really fun. Yes. But let's keep going. Move back to here. Am I going to do a convention vlog again? Yes, I am. Are the legs ridge squashes? Oh, yes, that's a question for this guy. Yes, I do ridge squash the legs. Because of this structure, it should be able to flip out for free as a level shifter. And then you can just ridge squash for some of the knee details. That is correct. ILY, are you saying some folds I should do before I retry origami? Do some fun things. If you want to go back into origami, or if you want to do some before you retry the Origami Samurai version 3, like if you weren't able to do it, yeah, maybe try some more of my simpler, like my 24 grid models before. I think even the Assassin from 32 grid, I did a test fold of that from smaller paper and it was okay. And I see some people try it from Kami, and it's kind of okay too. So maybe try some easier ones before you try the samurai again. If it was too hard, yeah, no problem. Um, let's see if I missed anything on Instagram. I don't think so. All right. And then, okay, we got some more questions, and then we're going to start our main content for today. This is a nice model, not showing the feet. I think it works. Yeah. Okay. Hyperion, finally, I'm not late for my stream. Oh, yo, let's go. Hey, yeah, you made it just in time. I do kind of do these reviews a little bit just so that some people who forgot or are a little late, they don't miss the main content, the main show. So, hey, glad to have you, Hyperion. Gian says, I'm doing that project right now. It's my first project in a while. Got inspired. Oh, sweet. I assume you're talking about the Sword and Shield. That's a good project to do. Because, yeah, it's not crazy hard. It's just a little confusing. Oh, and yep, Ryujin 2005. Okay. I had no idea he was creating with that paper at first. I'm impressed. Yep. True. What's up, Sloppy Bobby? Sorry, I'm really behind on the YouTube chat. My bad, guys. I was yapping away at this Kami Ryujin. Paper would disintegrate. Yeah, that's true. There are a lot of good-looking classes this year. Yeah, so the spread of classes is like the levels increasing. So for a while, Origami USA was, I guess, maybe known for not having as many complex classes. I think in general, a lot of conventions outside of like Japan have a lot of lower level classes, which is totally fine too. But it's just kind of because it's hard to teach and it's hard to find teachers who can teach the more complex stuff. Like there's generally a limited amount. So a lot of times it'll be simpler models, but this time around there's a lot more complex level classes or like intermediate and high intermediate pushing classes. Speaking of Dex in the chat, he's teaching some complex classes. We got Chris coming in with complex classes. Some of our guests, our special guests, Pei, he's got some complex classes. There's quite a lot, and a good spread of also intermediate classes as well for everybody. So I think there's definitely, it's good to see that people want to teach. I think teaching is a skill that we definitely need more of in origami. Because, folding is one thing. Teaching is a completely other world. Oh, another... okay. I think that's a bot. Sorry. Don't click the links. But thanks for chatting. Can I delete this message? Man, okay. Twitch is really bad with these controls, man. This UI is terrible. Okay, whatever. I need mods on Twitch. That's the real answer. What are you doing on TikTok, boys? What's up, Literal Jokes? Greetings. Hey, I'm just trying it out, man. We got 70,000 followers on here. Maybe a live stream. People think it's interesting. So thanks for joining on TikTok, by the way. I'm also live on Twitch and YouTube and Instagram. But feel free to be on TikTok and you're good. You don't know who I am, do you, boys? I don't know. Literal Jokes. Oh, that's funny. Is that Tyson? Is that your profile picture? That'd be crazy. Okay. Shame Origami USA conference clashes with OSMI. I know, that is really sad. It's so funny because a member of our convention committee, Robert Lang, he's been helping plan the convention, but he's going to be at OSMI, so he can't make it. This is like the first time he hasn't been able to make it. There's some, just unfortunate timing. I think we announced before OSMI, but OSMI might have been planning at the same time. But as we were planning, our convention got kicked out of our original date, which was June. And that's why in the past there hasn't been any conflict. But we got kicked out of our spot from the hotel. We can blame the hotel, maybe. I don't know. Don't blame the hotel. Don't blame anyone. But so we had to just work around that. And that was like the only weekend that looked good enough. But there was that unfortunate clash. I wish I could attend both too, but I'll be in New York this time around. Very unfortunate. No, Kamiyujin. You're going to do Kamiyujin. Okay, that's good. Inspiration. All right. Penguin is first class, and my horned owl is the last class. Yeah, that's funny. The penguin. People who are taking that penguin, they're in for a good time, I got to say. Super sad. Okay. I know Brandon Wong is also going to OSMI. If you guys know Brandon, it's like my origami brother. right? Speaking of Brandon, we might have something for you guys soon, so keep your eyes on that. But unfortunate that he will not be joining this year's convention. Convention mid-June. Yeah, so it's good for some people, bad for others. It's hard. Summer's hard. Planning dates is always hard. I wish Peacock was every year. True, Peacock is so awesome. Oh, literal jokes, yo. Get Raven. Okay. Play Val. Cool. Enjoy your Valorant. Then click it. You can look at his profile and block. Yeah, it's just not letting me from the view I currently have. It's supposed to, but it's not for some reason. So that's just really weird. Twitch, get better, please. Oh well. All right. All right. Let's get into the main content. VV, what's up? Oh, hyperesthesia. What's up? Thanks for saying hi in Instagram. I love your folds, man. I'm a big Monster Hunter fan. And I think you made the Origami Mume as well, right? So absolutely based. Thanks for joining the stream. Good to see you here. The other Wong, he's joining. Yeah, so you'll get to see Brandon. So the B Wongs are split across the world. All right, so I've been yapping long enough. Tyson, the literal jokes. Thanks for popping by the stream. Let's get into the main content for today. So we're gonna do a YouTube intro. I know it's weird. I don't like doing it either, but we're gonna do it anyways. And why isn't my chat box visible here? Okay, y'all were outside of the frame the whole time. Okay, I don't know. Okay, where is it on? Oh man, it is. Can I grab this? Okay, there you go. Vertical is kind of scuffed, but at least we'll see it here. Let me start the recording. Shangnara, what's up? How's it going, man? Good stuff. Is 60 GSM paper good for DPA if it's 45 centimeter? The DPA 32 grid is probably the only one you can do with 60 GSM 45 centimeter paper. Any of the others, it's probably too small. And you'll have a hard time shaping it because of its thickness. 60 is totally fine if it's like 60 centimeters as well. It'll still be a little bit thick, but you need to be careful. But the 32 centimeter one, so like the one from the tutorial, it should be okay. It should be okay. It'll be a little small, but King Julian. Oh, hey, thanks for coming on TikTok. Oh, what's up? Yo. Oh, were you the one that dropped some bits before? Yo, thanks, man. Yeah, I think you're in the lead right there. Thank you for that. All right, so we are recording. I hit the right button this time. So let's get into the death battle. All right, so I'm gonna do my quick YouTube intro. We're gonna be here, and I think oh my god, why is this chat box? Okay, we're gonna do this and then resize it manually like that, and like this. Okay, it's just gonna be scuffed on TikTok, and it's okay. There you go. I need to like get a template for Instagram to all have all my stream stuff. But basically, this is gonna intro. So we're looking at Origami-dan Death Battle Round 2. We did Round 1 last time. I'm just like making notes for myself so I know what to say. Origami, I'm on vacation in Portugal. Later, I watched a video. Thanks for sharing work and talent. Hey, thank you for watching. Welcome from Portugal. That's awesome. Yeah, this will be a YouTube video later. No worries. It's hard to say what. Oh, no problem. Okay, how do I expand my paper size? That is 60 GSM. Look at my video. I made a video on how to make gigantic origami paper, and that's one method that I like to use. So definitely check that out maybe after this stream, and that should help you out. Stuck in full, I need small GSM catalog to better understand the feels. Oh, that's a good idea, actually. If you guys make yourself like a small guide of GSM's paper, and then it'll help you decide on what paper you want to use for a certain project. Yeah, that's a awesome idea, Steve. And then it's cool. You can carry around a little catalog. I like that. It's like a little journal. Journal the papers that you get to use from origami. All right. Okay, YouTube intro, right? YouTube intro. All right, let's. My camera's actually tilted. Okay, so I'm gonna say like, hey friends, welcome back to Origami Death Battle Review. Today we're looking at the submissions from round 2, which are absolutely crazy. Let's check it out. Okay, something simple like that, right? I think last time I might have even like refilmed it or something, but we'll do something real quick. All right, 3, 2, 1, start. All right. Hey friends, welcome back to back to another video. All right, 3, 2, 1, start. Hey friends, welcome back to another video, and today we're taking a look at the Origami-dan death battle. Now, we looked at round 1 last time, which was absolutely crazy, and round 2 is no exception. We have some absolutely insane folds. People are going really, really hard for that cash prize. So let's take a look at these submissions and just see how insane they are. Okay, something like that should be good enough, right? All right. All right, so now we're here. Yeah, YouTube tutorial. It's so hard, man. It's fine not doing it live. It feels absolutely crazy to do that live. All right, let me actually change this aspect ratio for Discord. It's kind of cut off a little bit, actually. So let me fix this. Let's do fit to screen. Hold down a little bit. Okay, that should make my drawing software a little bit easier as well. Perfect. Let's do one last test of stuff, like if I want to draw a circle here, circle here. Okay, perfect. All right, we are ready to review, ready to cook. Let's go. All right, so let's see the battles first. And if you guys don't know what's going on, basically it is a designer 1v1. So designers choose a topic, they agree on it to fold, and then they design within, I think, around 2 to 3 weeks to try to beat the other person. So to make the better design, and then the community votes on the winner. So currently the voting is going on right now. So if you haven't voted yet, feel free to check out all these folds from this video and vote for the ones that you like. We have a lot of different topics. I'm going to go through them really quickly. And yeah, it's just an awesome way to do a competitive origami format. And shout out to my mods on Origami-dan for putting in a lot of work, specifically Hifya, who's running all this stuff right now. He's doing crazy good work putting this together. All right, so the first competition we have going, the theme was yokai, which is like a Japanese monster, I believe. And so this is between Anise and okay, do we have the usernames on here? Okay, we don't have the usernames exactly on here, but I know this is Anise. I can't remember who this is, but we'll go over that next. Looks like on my end there's like some internet error, but okay. The next one is let's see. How do you not get the little folds on the paper when treating? You have to be really careful. That's really, or you have to ignore the little folds you accidentally make. Should have thrown those as bloopers. I have so much blooper footage because every time I make a YouTube video, it takes multiple takes. Maybe that'd be interesting. I don't know. It might just be painful, honestly, and cringe. No, just kidding. Oh yeah. Grant has a really nice collection of origami papers. I think they're laminated though, so I don't know if that's exactly great for like testing GSM, but at least it's interesting. Hey, hi YouTube. Yo. Why is it so hard to talk to camera? Yeah, I've been doing this for like 7 years, right? And it's still crazy to do. Okay, sorry. The next battle, we have the topic of Greek mythology. And you can already tell these submissions are pretty cracked. You got some good battles going. It's Greek mythology. The one after that, it's a 1v1v1. And the theme is uninteresting. So what a crazy subject. You want your fold to be interesting to get it votes, but the topic that you have to make is uninteresting. So what's the most interesting, uninteresting fold, right? That's crazy. Oops, my phone rang. Joined. Yo, thanks for joining this stream. Hello, hello. We're looking at some crazy origami right now, and these are battles. So this is competitive origami. All right, next up we have everyday. So everyday is another kind of, out there topic. Like it doesn't have a direct, like anything physically direct that you can make. So in this case, it looks like we got like a stop sign and then a guy reading on the toilet, right? So like crazy kind of interpretation, very open to interpretation. And we have two really different designs. This is a cool battle. We're going to look into these in more detail soon. And then I think this is the final battle. The topic is folklore. That's another cool one. So anything from folklore, it could be from any culture as well. And so we'll take a look at these in a bit. Looks like it's a fox and a wendigo. That's really cool. All right, so let's start off with the first battle we mentioned. This is Anise versus someone else. Let me let me get that really quick. This is by Doriyuzu. All right. So, wow, that is a crazy battle. So, if you remember Doriyuzu and Anise's submission from last time, man, there were some good submissions. And in this case, this time around, it's also crazy good. So yeah, we have Anise on the left and Doriyuzu on the right. So let's take a look at Doriyuzu's first. So he's got wrestling kappas, and this is for the topic of yokai. Okay, so it looks like we have a disclaimer here. He says, apologies for the bad photos. This is the best I can do at the moment. So it seems like Doriyuzu was a little bit limited on time, so couldn't get too good of photos. Will that affect the voting? Potentially. Presentation is it's part of votes. So it looks like we have a cutting mat, which is generally used to treat paper on. And then just like a piece of paper behind as a background. It's kind of diffusing a light. Try to get some like background. I forget what you call it, but when you have light and it's reflected forward against your direct light. So like this stuff right here, little glow. It potentially, again, it's not the greatest photo. Like we've got this stuff here. I wish this was at least cropped out, like right there and right there. But that's okay. Let's look at the actual origami itself. So, wrestling kappas. I'm not sure what a kappa is. I'm guessing it is some kind of yokai. I'm gonna Google this really quick for myself so I don't make any misinformed, mentions. Okay. So this is from yokai.com. So hopefully this is correct. A kappa is, the direct translation is river child. But it is an aquatic reptilian humanoid that apparently lives in Japan. So it is a yokai. So that works. And this is an interpretation. I think, so Doriyuzu is really good at folding. In this case, we can clearly see two forms. So we got 1 and 2. The heads and then the bodies are here. I think this is really good. I think the wrestling pose is also really good. I think just one thing that's working against this model right now is the fact that I can't immediately tell what it is. And potentially it is because I don't know what kappas are enough. I can see it's humanoids. It's just like a kind of a niche yokai. And I know it fits the topic, but sometimes that can affect voting. But I think the other thing is just that the photo's a little bit blown out here. So it's hiding a lot of the details. And in fact, like this face, if you look really closely, there's a lot of good defining features, but it's a little bit blurry in the photo. So you can't see them all, which is, again, just a little bit unfortunate on the presentation side, even though this fold is really cool. But we can take a look at some other angles. We can see how they're interjoined. It looks like here, it's almost like a turtle shell, right? So that fits the reptilian kind of description, which is, again, really, really cool. It's just, it's so hard to see everything just because of the photos that were used to submit. I bet if I were to see this in person, it'd be way more impressive than what we were able to see here. But in this one, we're able to see a bit more of the face detail. Again, Doriyuzu is a really insane folder. I wish, maybe it just timing didn't work out, so I couldn't get some better pictures. But still really cool. Let's look at the one he's competing against, which is Anise. And this is, he said it's trapped. So a trapped yokai, which is a fisherman managed to trap a big fish, but what he hasn't realized yet is that it's actually a ningyo, which is a mermaid who trapped him. Ah, so this is an interesting take. Instead of actually doing a yokai, it's like a response with a yokai. So arguably, this doesn't fit the theme nearly as much. It's a little bit of a stretch because it's a story. It's not directly a yokai itself, but you know, I think it's okay. And the reason it's okay is because Anise's execution is just ridiculous. So here we have, for one, good contrast in the photos. If we look at all these photos, it's like a plain white background, and the features are in focus. So we can clearly see what's going on here from multiple angles. But this one in particular is really, really good. I think... Oh. Wait, hold on. We got some gigabrain stuff going on here. All right, we're gonna... Oh, man. We're gonna break this down very slowly. I was completely wrong. It's not the reaction of a yokai. Anise added the yokai in there. Actually, himself too. My bad. I didn't see it at first. Yeah, okay, so totally fits the theme. We have the yokai and a person. My mistake. This is crazy. Yeah, this is absolutely insane. So, okay, let's just take a look at... We have to break down these photos one by one. There's just so much detail. So here we have the fisherman, right? Which this fisherman in general is just so good. So we've got the reel. Okay, arguably, execution on a reel is a little bit sus, but whatever. The person itself, insane. So we've got this really characterized man, and the nice thing about it is it's not supposed to be like surreal or photorealistic, right? Or anatomical. It's a characterization of a person, and it is in a Japanese theme. Anise is really good at doing that kind of style. But with it, and the reason we can tell that is not just because of the face, which has crazy details, but because of the attire. This is like a very, Japanese looking type attire. And man, it's crazy. We have use of just folds, structural folds, and textural folds to get this folding of the robe. And then it transitions into like this highly textured bottom part of it. And it man, the execution is just crazy to be able to shape this. If you want to try doing this type of shaping yourself on just like a regular paper, you'll find it very hard to execute this well. A flowing cloth, like do you see how it folds? Like dude, that's crazy. That's really crazy. I could say a lot more, but we're going to look at the back really quick. So the back is the yokai. So the yokai is actually over the fisherman's shoulders. And this is because the fisherman doesn't know yet that, he actually caught a yokai. But we have the yokai back here. So it's like this, right? This is it on his shoulder. He's carrying it back home. He doesn't know he just picked up a monster, right? It could be bad news. Cloth effects are stunning, yet it's so true. I can only aspire to design like this. Yeah, this is beyond next level designing, right? We're not just designing something you see. Anise is like creating his own like reality and then bringing origami to life from that. Like it's actually nuts. He/him as if you fold paper enough times, you can get to the moon. By the way, that's true. It's like what was the thickness grows exponentially. So eventually, if you technically can fold it enough. And if the paper is infinitely stretchy, then you can reach the moon. That is very true. Fun fact. This is art. It's like he's a descendant of Eric Schwazel. I can definitely see the inspiration, for sure. You could even see it in his previous designs. Now, one thing I'll say, for people wondering, how do I get to this level of origami folding? I'm not exactly sure of Anise's background, but I'm going to make an assumption that he has very good foundations in anatomy. So I feel like if honestly, if he either draws or maybe sculpts or something like that, he's done something in the past that's given him this skill to render form. So he's practiced maybe academically some sort of sculpting or drawing. And because he has that foundation, he can do stuff like this, which is very stylized. He can make mythical creatures with human, you know, aspects in a characteristic, you know, that, and this is not anatomically correct, but it's stylized. But because he has that foundation, it makes it, when he does this sort of stuff, it looks intentional, it looks like actual style, and it looks really good. And I say that because Eric Schwazel actually did, I believe it was sculpting before, so like high level sculpting, and with that he definitely had to learn the basics of human anatomy in sculpting, you know, being able to render a form, and that's just practice. And from there he was able to derive really stylistic figures like his dwarves, like his band, any of the Schwazel models you'll see that is very stylized. It's because of that foundation. So if you want to be able to do stuff like this, you can't necessarily just start doing stylized stuff if you don't understand a foundation. So if you're looking to improve, I recommend studying some, you know, anatomy. There are plenty of free tutorials on like academic drawing. So how do you draw a leg? What are the muscles in an arm? What are all the bones in a rib cage? You know, stuff like that. What are all the muscles in the face that move when you smile? Different stuff like that. I know it's like overkill, but if you want to learn this kind of origami, it's definitely going to help. So that's my recommendation to anyone looking to try to do stuff like this. I personally have done a fair amount of studying of this on my own, and I don't think I'm anywhere close to being able to do something stylized like this. So there's always something to learn, which is really fun if you think about it that way, and it can directly like improve your origami skills. Eric, you so sorry I can't watch entire streams, getting late. No problem. It's late where I live too. This is all recorded, so you'll be able to see it later. But Eric, thanks for tuning in. If you've got any more questions for next week, let me know. And yeah, always good having you in the stream. Good stuff. James G. Brown, it looks a little bit like the trolls from The Hobbit. Yes, that is true. That is true. I think even Schwazel had some like Lord of the Rings themed models, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, okay. So yeah, this yokai is also really cool. So on the front, we're gonna look at it again, but there are scales because it's like a mermaid, and then we have like the frills here, and then the face. So like, again, to even put this together, to construct this, like look at this face. Obviously now this isn't trying to be anatomical at all. It's supposed to be stylized, but that fits the picture. But we have every feature. We got eyes that are easy to tell are eyes. We have a characterized nose, right? And we have a mouth. And then to make it look like a yokai, it's got some horns, right? So crazy, absolutely crazy. And then just using the pleats with this texture to make almost like a mane of this mermaid. It's so smart. Everything is used and everything is done intentionally. These layers aren't exposed and look messy. They're like, something exposed that looks messy would be something like between my arm, right? Do you see how this stuff isn't shaped? You can see these extra layers. You don't see that on Anise's fold, right? Or if you do, it's really hidden, like it's like it's right here, right? But it's so out of the way. Everything else is so intentional. Like these scales. Look at this. It's crazy, right? You don't even notice if there is anything off. And then because it's like characterized, right? Again, this isn't an anatomical face. It's a characterized face. But again, we have every aspect and it's done well. Like you can only create something like that if you understand how faces work and how people identify faces. Like this is so crazy. All right, so I know I spent a lot of time on that, but I just want to reiterate. Anise, absolutely insane design, insane, submission, and he is going for that win. This is competitive origami. You're supposed to beat your opponent. Who knows how the votes are going to go, but in my opinion, I think this is one of the best submissions I've seen in any death battle. So yeah, well done, Anise. Really, really cracked. Let's go to the next battle. Okay, so next one we have is another crazy one. Another crazy one. Look at all this origami, guys. This is so nuts. It's so crazy. It's art. Yeah, honestly, it's art. It's actual art. Hello, I am your fan. Yo, thank you for joining the stream. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. Right now, we're reviewing some origami that is for a competition. All right. I gotta make sure I have enough water. All right, so this next battle is the theme is Greek mythology, and we have Ares versus Hades. All right, so two Greek gods, pretty awesome. And then the first one is by Chris. Let's take a look at that one first, and the second one is by the Folder, which is Hades. So let's look at Chris's submission. Chris made Ares. He might have seen this in the thumbnail, but again, absolutely insane submission. I need another word for insane, but just take a minute and look at it, right? Yeah, no, it's actually so well done. So well done. The fact that this was done from design to completion in like 2 or 3 weeks, crazy. So let's break it down. And another thing to notice, Chris. So Chris is very experienced in these battles. I think Chris is not only, great at folding, designing, has that execution. He's good at competing. He's strategic. Only one photo submitted, and it's at the best angle, right? I'm sure it took tons of work to get this pose where you can see as many details as possible. I know Chris posted some other photos on his Instagram of other angles. Yo, Alfred, thanks for the sub, dude. Hey, what's up, dude? Oh my goodness, the Prime sub. Yo, by the way, Alfred, because you used your Prime sub, you get access to my members only Discord. I'll send you an invite later. I know you might not, be too interested in checking it out, but hey, check it out anyways. Thanks, man. What's up? Can you make an origami tutorial for a 24 by 24 grid? If you're asking about how to fold a 24 by grid, I do have that tutorial. I actually have it up to 48. So you can go take a look at that. Look for my channel and look for how to fold a grid, and that'll be for you. Okay, but back to Chris's fold. Ari, so this is actually in the style of like a hoplite, I believe, or just some type of Greek spearman. Yeah, let's break it down. Oh, I was mentioning, yeah, Chris is strategic, right? So this one pose, best angle. All people need to see, because ultimately when people are voting, they're going to be voting on one photo. So really strategic here. First thing I'd like to point out, look at this spear. If you've seen or tried to fold anything with a spear or anything in general with like a really long flap, it's hard to get the paper to be the same thickness throughout. The way this works is that actually a lot of paper in the corner and maybe on the edge, right? So it's a corner and edge of the paper has to be consumed. And oftentimes the very tip will be the thinnest part of the paper because it's the corner, and the layers only get thicker the closer you get to the hand. But you can see that I just drew one line and it's the same thickness throughout. So that's hard to do on an execution level. And not only that, is we got fingers. So you probably need to zoom in on your own for this. Take a screenshot or look at Chris's Instagram later. But those fingers are clean. We've got all 4 fingers here, and we got the thumb wrapping around the spear. I gotta say, like, that's hard to do. Let's take a look at my fold again. I know I'm trashing on my fold a little bit, but this is just a test fold. So I have fingers and a thumb. But to wrap it around something thick, which this is just a sword, so it's not even anywhere close to as thick as that spear's probably is. You can see how much paper is going on. It's really hard to like sell that effect just because paper gets thick, like really thick along that area. But here, Chris nailed it. Look at that. That's nuts. Small detail, right? Very small detail, just like the hand and the. But for me, as an experienced folder and designer, that's what I'm looking for, right? These areas of execution. Again, kind of what I mentioned in Anise, there's a lot of times layers get unused Chris, he used the thickness of the layer to add details here in the arm to make it look like an arm brace. Again, genius tactic to make it look cleaner. Also, this anatomy, like the shoulder's correct. The shoulder's correct. Very good understanding of anatomy. This is something I've watched Chris for a long time. He's one of the first people I did an origami review of, I believe. If it's not origami review number 1, it's probably an origami review number 2. But Chris has been working a ton. This anatomy, it's spot on. It's perfect, right? From the size of the head to the way the arms are connected to the waist, right, and the way the knees come out. Like, look at that. It's really good. Really good. If anything, maybe the feet are just a little too small, but who's gonna care about that, right? Everything else though, like one thing I really appreciate, if we look at like the macro level, you can see me drawing these boxes. This is just how I generally construct humans, is you can try to see where the intentionality of things are. And a lot of times of origami, you get things that are really boxy. And this is because everything is tied in one direction. In this case, we have uses, like if you were to actually look one way, more than just your body turns. So like we have hips this way, just in a power stance, knees facing this way, torso facing that way, and his eyes are also looking onwards. And so this is a small detail that a lot of people miss, is the intentionality of shaping. They might try to shape something but forget on where the head's actually looking. It's like sometimes people will make designs where like the character's looking down but the body is like looking the other way or something like that, and it just doesn't look very good because you have no idea what's going on. The model's not grounded. But in this case, we have intention for each part of where the spear is. Like everything makes sense. And then again, to support it, right, tons of crazy detail of the pleats. We have a shield with detail in it. Like, who does that, right? Like my shield, it's hard enough to do a shield. Okay, I'm not trashing out my own mouth. But like you get what I mean. Like it's already hard enough to fit one of these in, and to just go above and beyond and fit like all this detail into the shield. Next level, absolutely next level. This shows Chris's mastery of box pleating right here. I can't wait to meet Chris and take his design class. Yeah, Chris is gonna do a live design presentation at the Origami USA convention. I put that very high in my priority list. I've seen it, I think, twice already, but I just love watching Chris work. It's good stuff. Yo, Larry, what's up, bro? Dude, thanks for tuning in, guys. Ram's head, shield, and knees. Yes, that okay. Again, on the knees too. Like, bruh, this is so extra, and I love it. It's so good. The choices of where to detail is really good. Like we just have just enough shape to define a cloak, and then it doesn't take away from the face details, right? It gives some space. Then we have like general pleats. This is a lot of detail here, and then into a different pattern for the waistcoat. Different pattern. So really good contrast of select detail so that it's not overkill. You know, you can still see everything. And even with the shield, we have like a good border along everything that keeps it clean before we get into the craziness there. So we can see every detail. I really like that. We have space between a leg, and then again, crazy knees, and then pretty simple foot, but it's just to allow you to notice every detail really good. And yeah, check out Chris's Instagram. I believe the back is like fully closed. That's like an advanced origami designer thing. He sneaks that in just to impress people who know like how crazy it is to also close the model. So yeah, really well done. This is one of my favorite designs from Chris of recent. His last submission was also insane, but this one is, I like it. This is so good. I really love the impressionist aspect of origami design. It's simply not about realizing the basic impression. Then there's a spectrum going from simple to very complex and out of impressionism. Yo, well said, Steve, well said. And, you know, a lot of people have asked me like, oh, boys, why do you just keep making origami humans? Like, don't you get bored of it? But it's exactly that, Steve, that it's like Well, sure, I'm also fully human, but there's so many things to do, so many things to try, that for me it's still fun. Like I haven't even gotten close to doing everything, you know. So really, really cool. Well said. Um, let's see. All contextually sensible. Wonderful. Yes, yes. Well said, Peter. That's really, really true. Okay, so I know I kind of went overboard on Chris, but I think it's well deserved. I could talk longer about everything I noticed on this design. It's really well done. Now Chris is against the folder, and so last time the folder made a General Grievous, and I thought it was really cool, but I pointed out some, some things that were not quite as good. And the reason I say that is because I think the folder leveled up so much for this design. So the folder designed Hades, and yeah, comparing this to the General Grievous from last time, I'm pretty sure it was General Grievous. Hold on, let me fact check myself again before I just say something off the rails. So this is last time. The folder made, I believe it was this one. Okay, I can't see the. I guess we just scroll up here. Yeah, okay. The folder made General Grievous. So if you didn't see last time, it was this one. And I think the main thing I said was torso too long, right? If you wanted to keep the proportions of this design, you need to go shorter, just because now the arms are too tiny, lightsabers are small, right? That was basically my summary of my critique. Here, the folder. Look at this. Arms, perfect length for the sword, right? Torso, way shorter, right? That allows our legs here. I drew the legs wrong, but legs, right? Even the face, right? I'll get to the face in a little bit, but we have this really cool beard. Like, things are way more in proportion for this fold. I respect that a ton. And I think the composition of this model is really cool. So if you're unfamiliar with Hades, right? He's like the Greek god of the underworld. He's got dogs, a pair of three-headed dogs, guarding the gates, I think. And here we see the dog. Like, this is the dog with the three heads, a Cerberus. Like, crazy. And the leash, like, dude, isn't that so cool? So yeah, massive level up from the folder. Like, this is a really, really good submission. We've got face details here. Yeah, eyes, nose. And I really like this beard. This beard's really cool. I think it's a good way to do faces, actually, because it partially hides it. But because of doing this texture and how different the texture is from, say, the armor here, it's a nice contrast kind of showing details for the face. Let's see some other photos really quick before we get to it. So here are the dog, the three-headed dog, Cerberus. Like, this is really cute, right? We can clearly see the snout and the cheeks and the ears. Like, it's so cute. I think this is just a nice touch to really like sell the fact that this is Hades, not some random character. And then here we have the face. So if there's any like critique I have, it's probably on the face, and I'll get to that in a little bit. I just want to talk a little bit more about the overall submission. So that's with this photo. Let's see. Almost looks like the final model was dry brushed Ares. Oh, I totally forgot to mention about Chris's. I think he also did dry brush it, and it just adds to the aesthetic, the visual aesthetic. That's a very good point. Simon, interesting way to make the dog heads. True. Okay, so let's keep going. All right, so okay, from here, I think things are looking really good for the folder. Presentation's on point. I think it's really hard to compete with Chris's experience in presenting models, but yeah, I just got to commend the folder for really leveling up with this submission. Overall, it's really good. Okay, so now the one hard thing is there is a lot of level of complexity. It's hard to match Chris's execution here. I kind of mentioned, right, if we looked at Chris's, if we draw the direction of intentionality, this one, it's very squared, which is normal for box fleet models. Like, it's hard to not make it squared. So everything is basically like pointing towards us. Now, what's good is that the face is also pointing towards us, but it just doesn't make sense for this arm. And it's not that this arm is, you know, a mistake by any means. It's just like, why is it just there? Potentially, if the model's neutral, it'd be better to have like a more neutral pose. And especially for swords, you can look historically at what guards people do or how people stand neutrally with swords. And I think that would have been just like, if like, it's almost that this blocks. And so, again, this is not quite a mistake. It's just like Chris's execution took this into consideration with his pose. And that's just lacking a little bit in this one. But very, very good. And then the other critique I have is in the face. So faces are so hard. It's normally better to actually omit the face than to try to do a face if you can't get it good. And the reason is because of the uncanny valley, right? So here we have unrealistic. Here we have realistic, right? And so the valley kind of goes like this. If you make it unrealistic enough, which would be like a cartoon or a characterization, right? We identify those as people. So things like anime or comic books, right? It's stylized. Video game characters that are like Lego, right? It's definitely on this end. So like we recognize that it's a human. But the more you approach reality and your execution isn't as high, the ability to identify a person starts to dip, or you notice the mistakes more, or you realize, hey, this isn't quite a person, something is wrong. And it's like that until you hit full realism. And with full realism, you need good enough, you know, features that you can actually hit this point where everyone's like, wow, I didn't even know that was paper, right? And if you can get to that effect, then you're into clear. In this case, right, there is the attempt. So I would say like the folder, he's trying to be more in this half than he is in this half, right? So the folder isn't trying to do a characterization. They're trying to be realistic. And a lot of time, if it's so hard to do, I respect them for trying. But again, it's just like the anatomy is very hard. The distance to like eyes, nose, mouth with like the actual head structure is just like slightly off. And because of the eye structure, so there's like, it's like a box here where like the ridge kind of sticks up here versus like a box here, a ridge sticks up here. It's like not exactly how an eye should be. So like, I'm going to draw out here. So like the overall brow shape of the eye is kind of like this. And like, I see the attempt, but like, generally, right. You can, if you break down like the skull, it's like a little bit more like this. And so like, I can see it's going there. It's close, but it's not quite there. Now Chris's isn't quite as perfect either, but it's closer, and it's closer mainly because the proportions and the use of like the other features like the jawline and aid from the helmet. Like the helmet is a really smart thing because then you don't have to worry as much about all the face. So you get saved a little bit from that approach. In this case, because it's so noticeable here, it's just like a little bit off. And then now there's also like no space for like this side, and there's no ears. So like this is going like really deep into these details, but like, again, this is a competition. You have to take these things into effect. A lot of people will just see this. They won't really break it down like I did, but they'll get the feel that, okay, something isn't quite shaped enough. And that's just because of this valley that I described of what people notice. And a lot of the reason is because we see people every single day, or at least most people do. You're looking at me right now. We look at humans so much that subconsciously we just can tell when something's off, right? That's the basic explanation. I like the attempt here. Again, I personally think you might have had a better effect. You keep the beard, you don't worry about the face at all, and you just do a really cool helmet. Now, I'm biased because that's what I do. You know, that's my take on things. But a lot of times I find more success in doing something simpler like this. It sells the effect that it's a cool helmet more than it would have if I tried to put a face in. Now, I've done some faces recently, but that's like years of trying and failing very hard to do it. So to try to pull it out in a competition is very risky. But again, we'll see in the votes who comes out on top. Is it enough for this fold to, exceed what Chris has done? Only the votes will tell. Only the votes will tell. But hopefully that makes sense in my breakdown. I think these two submissions are really, really good. And also, so big shout out to Chris. Absolutely insane design. That's like peak origami, really pushing the level of anything that's been done. And then the folder, massive level up from last submission. Really, really good work. Man, this video is gonna be long. I'm gonna cut out a lot of stuff. What do y'all think so far? I know I've been yapping most of this time, but this is good. Okay, no, I know how to fold the grid. I want to make a model from a 24 grid. Oh, sorry, I totally missed your comment. I have a lot of tutorials from 24 grids. Just go check out the tutorial playlist. I just like answered someone's comment about that too. You can find them. I have plenty. Very simple but recognizable. Yeah, exactly. That's often good. Yeah, the dogs on the other hand, right? Dogs, right? We're not going for realism dogs. So this is kind of the same thing, except dogs we just interpret as dogs. So like, I can immediately tell this is a dog head. It's not trying to be realistic at all. It works. So this is basically the evidence, right? The nose of the face by Shangnara was actually too good. Are you talking about Shangnara's previous design? Or the one we reviewed last time? Because yeah, that was good. Shangnara is cooking. Okay, so I kind of wanted to continue that discussion because I want to see people continue to work on faces. I don't want to fully discourage faces. I want to see it develop. But it's just important to understand this stuff. So what's correct and what's not correct so that we can push the level. Or, again, you don't have to do faces. So this is a case where I didn't have to do a face. This is from the pirate I designed, which we reviewed last week. And I did explain there are some glaring issues with the structure of this design, particularly in how the shoulders are done and the lack of a neck. Sorry, but I want to explain. In this approach, I had a beard and hair, and I made the beard and the hat cover most of the face, right? So there's no eyes, there's no nose, there's no mouth, but it is recognizable enough as a beard that it won me second place at this competition. You know what I mean? So it was there enough. I'm not trying to be realistic at all in this. It's all using, again, the human brain of doing something not as realistic, but keeping it recognizable. So it's simpler, not pushing towards reality, and it sells the effect more. So yeah, if you want to approach faces and you don't want to do the details, you don't have to. You don't have to. All right. Okay, so let's continue to the next battle. But man, these are some good submissions, right? All right, so the next battle we have the 1v1v1. Let's do the 1v1v1 last. Let's do the last one. Let's do the 1v1s. So there's 2 more 1v1s, and then we'll do the 1v1v1 last. Okay, so let's do this one first. This is every day. I mentioned before. Let me switch back to this one. I mentioned before how interesting this was as a battle. And we have 2 very, very different submissions. So let's start with this one. So this is by Hot Wheels 420. On the toilet. This is great. This satisfies the topic so well. It's so relatable, right? So relatable. Now, this person is like reading a book. I think, maybe for other people, for the younger crowd, this is like looking at your phone. But once again, really relatable. There's some comedy in this, right? Like the pants are pulled down, right? Hilarious. I love this. This is so good. Like, to interpret this topic as that, hitting the relatableness, dude, on point. Very, very smart submission. Really funny design. I think it's really cool. Once again, this is a case not trying to go for realism. And it sells the effect that it's a person. You know what I'm saying? So really well done here. I can tell what everything is. Really funny. I can even tell the toilet in the back. In this case, I do wish we had another angle to see the toilet a little bit more. I think it would have helped it just slightly. And another thing, maybe a slightly better photo. Like we've got this going, so like it's almost split, but it's turned, so we get like that weird shadow in the back. Slightly distracting, just not as nice presentation. A little bit harder to see the model in general. Again, because this is blocking like the face, you get that shadow here. So this is like starting to, you have to work a little bit to look at it and find everything, but you can find everything, so that's okay. Yeah, fun model. Love the idea. Really good. What if it was more detailed censored? Hey, then we'd be in trouble on YouTube, right? Thank goodness it's not more detailed. Hello. John, welcome to the stream. Thanks for joining. Oh, Beluga, hello. Thanks for joining the stream on Instagram. Great to see everyone. We're looking at some cool origami here. But yeah, I think to wrap up, On the Toilet, just really fun. And I love fun, so great job, Hot Wheels 420. Let's look at the other one, which was by Faraz, and it is a stop sign. So like this battle, I think has the most diversity in the models we see. It has in this, it's like for one, it was like a humanoid interpreting the concept. This one, it's like an object, right? A stop sign. And this is 2 different paradigms of origami as well. So one's like a box pleat figure, I assume. And then this one is a flat fold color change model. And this is definitely in far as this, kind of signature genre, which is really cool to see that this can compete against something like a box plate humanoid with, all those fun details. So it's much more straightforward, but equally as impressive. So I think this battle's gonna be really close, actually. The stop sign's really cool. The other one's really funny. It's like I can't predict who's gonna win this battle. Both are really good. Sorry, I had to drink some water. How do you shape craft? I would just use glue for craft. You can't wet fold craft too well. You can try, but yeah, and fold carefully, I guess. The craft is pretty thin, but I think you're gonna need glue if you want to like really shape it. You can't necessarily do the wet fold technique that I've shown recently. Yeah, what if it was more detailed? That would be funny. Okay, so stop sign. I mean, it's pretty easy to see. There's not really much I have to talk about this model. It's just really nice. I think if people were to be a bit picky, you do see like some seams. Like it's not very clean in terms of how the color change is done. It's like very uneven, and you can kind of see like all the folds that make it up. But that's one of the hard things about doing this sort of genre is to be able to do something as crazy as spell words in the middle of something. You kind of have to do some sacrifices. So yeah, I don't understand this kind of paradigm of origami design as much. I don't have experience in it, but it looks crazy hard and it's really cool. So shout out to Faraz, really nice natural color change. This is a 50 centimeter square, so used a big paper for this. Very complex. And justification, I see these signs every day. Totally fits the theme. I see them every day too. Y'all might as well. Your stop sign might look a little different, but yeah, very relatable. Let's go on to the next battle. So last 1v1. This is with the theme of folklore. And this is a good topic. We've got two different things from folklore. We've got Reynard the Fox and a Wendigo. So I'm familiar with what a Wendigo is. I was actually recently in Georgia and got to talk with some of the locals there about their folklore because the Wendigo is part of their folklore. So kind of cool. If you want to look up what a Wendigo is, do it during the daytime. It's a little scary. All right, that's just warning you. But really cool. I actually don't know much about Reynard the Fox, but let's take a look at that. And I'm going to do a quick Google. Let's find it right here. Okay, Reynard the Fox, folklore. Okay, here we go. Inspired by Disney's Robin Hood, color changes are natural. Nice. This is with box plated and painted craft. Oh, so someone asked about shaping craft. Well, you can paint craft too. So this is an example of shaped and painted craft. Alrighty. So let's I don't have to look this up now. It's from the Disney movie. I can see it. And from this photo, we can see something. So we have the fox. This is a bad color for this one. You can see the head, right? The ear, and then the hat. I think the hat is really nicely done. There's some double color change going on here. In the hand, he's holding, I believe this is a bow. This is pretty cool. Then offhand is reaching for an arrow. So Robin Hood, right? So bow and arrow, shooting an apple off someone's head. And then below we have the fox legs, fox tail, and the clothing. So I think this is really nice. I think there are some execution errors, mostly in the face this time. So in this case, we have the snout, but it looks a little bit forced and the angles are just slightly off. Like this ear here, it's a little bit too blended in. I think if the ear was like, right, it needs to be more up here to really like stand out a bit more. It's a little bit hard to tell. And then, yeah, this color change is crazy to be able to do like the double color changes on everything. But the result is that it's like a little bit messy. So maybe the paper was just, it needs to be a little bit bigger to really sell it. But because of that, like I can see that this arm, it's not really where it's supposed to be if you're grabbing something behind the back. And shaping something like this in general is really hard just because paper in this joint is very limited. So you've got all this tension right here. And it's really hard to do. But overall, really cool design. Crazy color changes. Nice job. This is by Silver Paper. Next up in folklore, we have the Wendigo. And this is designed by Tijin. Okay, hold on. For YouTube purposes, I need to go back. Okay, this is Reynard the Fox, designed by Silver Paper. Okay, that I need that for my YouTube video. Okay. So I forgot to say that at first. Okay, so next up we have the Wendigo, designed by Tijin. Again, folklore. And so this is a mythological creature, a Wendigo is a mythological creature originating from the Algonquian. I apologize for mispronouncing that. Algonquian folklore, It's often represented as a zombified elk or moose. And then, sorry for the holding and state, I'm completely out of MC. First picture for voting. So we do have a disclaimer here at some lack of material and time maybe, and presentation. Let's see how that affects the result. So I do think the hand, it is a little distracting, not gonna lie. The paper in the background, also a little distracting. They put that as disclaimer. They note themselves. I think this will affect the voting a little bit, because without the hand, I think we'd be able to see these elk antlers a lot better, and they actually look pretty good if they were presented nicely. So if this was a much better photo, it would really sell it. And the fact that like this moose or this elk is like a zombified, it's supposed to look messy, but because we can't see like most of it, it's hard to tell. And now we just kind of see just the flaps as they are, and it doesn't look shaped. Now the non-shaping is mostly because no MC, but yeah, I guess just unfortunate circumstances. I think this design has a lot of potential. I definitely think like these antlers are cool, are really cool. Like smart idea, skeleton, box plate, like really good potential. This potential design just missing the shaping and presentation. Yeah, but they know themselves. Still, great job on the design. I even like, though the battle's over, I hope you keep working on this and can like finish shaping and get a nice photo, because I think it'll turn out pretty cool. Like, keep working these bones a bit more to really make it look zombified, and just work on that elk mouth with those antlers, and it'll look really nice. But you know, good job. Thanks for competing. It's, again, 2-3 weeks. It's not a lot of time. For some people, they're used to being able to do models that quickly, but a lot of time you can't get the materials or paper in time. It can be tough, but that's part of the competition. So that's going to be an interesting battle. We are done with the 1v1s, and now we've got one left. We got a 1v1v1. Oh, Bodo? Hey, yo, still going? The stream got delayed by like 4 hours, so we are in your time zone. What's up? Hey. Good to see you, Bodo. Oh, what's up, Devant Shaw? Tuning in from Instagram. Hello, hello. Good having you here. Yeah, I've got chat open for YouTube, for Twitch, for TikTok, for Instagram. Oh, all at the same time. Crazy, right? Crazy. Yeah, if you saw my Instagram story, I have a new monitor, and it's crazy. Yo, shout out to my boy Han. He does like desk setup videos, and he's got this screen that he put on his like setup guide. And so I just went to his like Amazon links where he has all this gear, because I really like that monitor. It's like a rare aspect ratio. It's intended to be vertical, and it's basically 2 monitors stacked on top of each other. So I can have like everything, and I can read it all at once. It's so good. So I'm at Studio B right now. I'm gonna buy another one for Studio A, because in Studio A I have a second screen, but it was from my original setup when I was in college, like low budget, cheap monitor that was meant for a laptop. And that's my second monitor in Studio A. I need to upgrade, you know what I'm saying? So we're going to upgrade to that big one, and I'll be able to read everything. It's so nice. Sorry, small deal. Now, speaking of setups, I know there's a lot of people out there who want to be origami YouTubers or want to start creating content. Maybe not being a YouTuber, but just documenting your origami content, and then maybe becoming an origami YouTuber. I'm working on a video in joint with Han, again, desk setups guy, to create a video on like, what do you need to be effective as a creator, that's like super useful for origami. I personally have spent a lot of money like trying different setups, trying different things, So I'll go through, what you should get, what you should not get, a budget setup, a setup to invest in, all that sort of stuff. Like, how do I get my top down camera? What's effective? Do you need something like this? Do you need something like this? What's the cheapest you can go? What's the most expensive? Not really expensive, but like what's worth it? I think that video will be really useful for not just origami people, but just anyone who's doing art with like a top down setup. Stay tuned for that. That's a future video. Multitasking. Uzra, not satisfied. Yeah, Shangnar is cooking. That's good. You're going to create something even better. I like that. What face was... it was in the last stream. We reviewed Changnara's face at the end. Some critique. Now, if you're a YouTube member, you can also get some personal critique from me. If you're if you're able to join the membership. But no pressure. No pressure. A shout out to Changnara. Very talented designer. Exactly. Okay, so this 1v1v1. Absolutely insane. We've got ... versus maple syrup versus I forget their name. My bad. Versus Boric. That's right. Okay. So for the final battle that we're going to review today, absolutely insane 1v1v1. Crazy folds ... versus maple syrup versus Boric with the theme of uninteresting, potentially the most interesting topic of this round. Uninteresting. Everything here is a like juxtaposition, or what's the I forget the word for like a dichotomy, right? Everything here is a dichotomy. Insane. The most interesting topic is uninteresting, and the designers have to make the most interesting uninteresting design so that they can win. Let's take a look at Bork's first. A sad clown. A sad clown. So this is a very interesting take on uninteresting, because people want to see happy clowns. People, hire clowns, go to fairs to be entertained. Now, it's really interesting. I think there's been a stigma about clowns for a while, that they're actually scary. But I think recently clowns are coming back. I've seen stuff on YouTube and like TikTok and stuff with like clowns being comedic, and they're starting to like it's more funny again. There's some talented like people, whether it's juggling or comedy, miming, stuff like that, and it's like it's starting to not be quite as scary anymore. I think maybe that was from like movies that came out. That's why clowns were scary. And there's like the clown event that was really scary. But a sad clown, no one wants to see a sad clown, right? So I think this fits the theme. I think it's an interesting take to convey sad. Right here we have like a frown. I think it's kind of tough. I can definitely tell it's a clown, right? We actually don't get to see too much of the body because the angle is like this way. Maybe we can see some of the other photos, like this one. Here we see more of the clown, right? So we can tell it's a clown. It is a little bit hard to tell if it's sad or not. I think the pose is actually kind of happy, like the clown's waving at us. But the only thing is maybe from this photo, I can see it's kind of sad with the face, but even still, a little bit hard. But hey, respectable choice, very creative. Again, this is a hard topic. You have to make an interesting thing that's uninteresting. I think this face structure, it's got potential. It's got a lot of potential. It's a cool color change here. There's a lot you could do with these eyes. They're they're in the proper place too. It's just, it's hard to sell sad. Like, what do you do with sad? I think maybe a better approach would have been to use the body language of the clown. So instead of doing like a happy waving pose like this, you would do like a somber, shrugged, kind of like weeping thing to be sad. So like drooped shoulders, arms down type of thing. and that would have like helped sell the sad clown thing a little bit better. But nice fold, nice design. Next up, we're gonna look at dot dot dot. Dot 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 is reading. So this might be a hot take. Hot take, is reading uninteresting? We got any readers out there? Stuck in fold, heading to bed, nice folds, everyone's still in the battle. Yo, shout out to Steve. Steve, I'm excited to see you in like 2 weeks. We're gonna have a real fun time. It's good stuff. Thanks for joining in. Anise, welcome to the stream. We reviewed your fold earlier. So I think, when the stream is recording is over, you can check that review out. But I gotta say, man, that's a masterpiece. That's so crazy. That's so well done. You can see everything I had to say about it. The fact that you made the fisherman with the yokai on his back, dude, yeah, mind blowing stuff. Shout out Anise in the chat. Let's go. Really, really awesome fold. I think I said it's one of the best folds I'd ever seen in a competition. Yeah, absolutely insane. Okay, so let's look at dot dot dot. This is a hot take. I used to read a lot. I think reading is interesting. I used to read books all the time at night. Now I watch YouTube, right? How I have been corrupted by technology. And if I read, it's on an ebook on my phone. Oh dear. But books. Some people though might think reading is not interesting. Okay, I'm just kidding. So, honestly, good take. Dot dot dot. Reading can be uninteresting, and if people disagree, that's mental stimulation. That's strategic, right? You're getting them invested emotionally into your design. Really cool. Dot 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 has folded some really impressive things. Last submission, it was the Ant-Man on an ant. This time, sitting down, reading a book. I gotta say, this person actually looks interested in reading. But again, like, what a crazy topic, right? You have to make the most interesting design of something uninteresting. I absolutely love it. This is really good. I talked about intentionality before and how it's so effective in shaping if your model has that intention, right? So the whole body language of this design, we've got the cross leg, we have the torso, turned in to the book. We have the face looking at the book. Really well done. These are subtle details. It's not easy to configure this all into the exact place, but yeah, really, really nicely done. We got, small details. This photo honestly is like a little bit underexposed. So this is like a photography critique. The whole thing is underexposed. Everything's kind of blending in. You could do some quick editing to make this look a little bit more approached. Is like right here, the shadows are just blurred. But you look closely, you can really see the details. You can see like the t-shirt here. You can see the pants. Like there's a lot of small things. We even have like the heel of the shoe. Just really nicely done. Dot dot dot. This is super cool. I love it. There's, I think, even like subtle face indentations for the nose. It's awesome. This photo. Look how small it is. Look how small that is, right? The design is actually for readers. I would love to fold this one. Yeah, this is a really cool design. If the book is boring, true, then same applies. Okay, that's true. Yeah, if the book, maybe interest in reading depends on the book. It's super interesting. Yeah, that's really funny. Yeah, man, look at the attention to detail, man. Like, okay, do you see this? Look at this head shape. Yeah, dot dot dot. Crazy, like crazy mental to know this. Like, if you're to draw a head from the back, you do a Loomis head. So I've talked a little bit about Loomis heads in the past, and like this is a good way to learn like heads, right? So you can like quickly draw the shape of a head from this angle. I know this is probably really hard to tell because this is like really badly done, but essentially here there is like the notch for the back of your skull before your neck comes down, and then it attaches like before your chin. So that's like an easy way to just start setting your neckline. And man, dot 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 did that like in the, like, oh my goodness, that's great. From the back, normally we fold and shape stuff for the front, This is from the back, and this is tiny. That's tiny. Like, look at that. That's so hard to do. Like, the just the dexterity and shaping, really next level. I will say the size of it is a little tough because we can see, because it's so close, we see just like the little wrinkles from the shaping, so it's not as clean as it could be, if you know what I mean. And because of the next design, this might come into play, because both of these are going to share this slight thing where potentially the execution will take into effect how clean these small details are into the entire thing. But I'm nitpicking. This is really well done. There's some high level execution. Really cool model. Absolutely insane. ... Let's look at the other photos. Look at this. Fingers. You see how small those fingers are? That's crazy. Like in the book curve with the spine, and like next level attention to detail here. And great proportions. Like man, this is really good. How to get the head so round? I have no idea, man. At this tiny, crazy. Like very strategic mushing is probably what it is. Jerk armory, ... Yeah. No, same, man. Yeah, really well done. ... Always impressive. Okay, and this is a 1v1v1. So we got one more to look at. This was reading by ... Next up, we have maybe the most brain-breaking design I've seen this year. Scale shaping by Maple Syrup. And you've heard me talk about maple syrup a few times, starting from Peacock 2023, then Ebok 2024, then last round, and this round. Maple syrup. This fool got into Hall of Fame for a very valid reason. It absolutely blew people's minds mentally. So, we talked about leave-in, folding that reunion, right? Maple syrup basically made leave-in. Except, okay, maybe not, because leave-in didn't scale shape, but this person is scale shaping. So, man, maple syrup is so cracked. They made a person folding the reunion on the desk with a lamp. Like, you could have gone away with just the person folding reunion scales. You could have stopped at folding on the table. Added a lamp, because why not, right? Absolutely. And a laptop, because you're looking at Daniel Brown's guide or Origami Sage's scale shaping guide at the same time. Like, oh my goodness, dude. Is this not the most like mentally breaking design you've ever seen? It's so crazy. If Maple Syrup used anything larger than 30 centimeters for that, he does. Yeah, that's the other thing. I bet this is tiny too. Maple Syrup, you've seen their other folds, really tiny. Like they made my samurai from like 15 centimeter or 20 centimeter, and it's like that small, and it's really well folded. Yeah, this is. I saw this and like, bruh, that's like my mentally blown. Like, dude, that's, oh my goodness. This is like an idea you like randomly throw out talking about fun for fun, and like no one's ever gonna do it. It's like, haha, make a person folding something on a table, shaping the hardest, most complex model, and this is it in reality. Like, absolutely insane. And the coolest part is it's actually like the reunion. If you look at the crease pattern, and if you zoom in here, you can see the actual scale pattern of the reunion. It's like, dude, Maple Syrup went so hard. I can't express like, dude, how much this just like blows my mind. New fan favorite, just yeah, it's like, okay, sure, it's not the cleanest design. You can tell it's a little messy, right? You can see like there's an indent in this table. It's not like perfectly straight. It's kind of a weird leg ERM stuff. Like you can see the seams. Sure, you can say all that, whatever, right? But the fact that this is just existing and it's like decently executed where you can actually see the scales and see the person and all that stuff. It's like, bruh, it's so nice. It's so crazy. Yeah, definitely worthy of being fan favorite. Just for that aspect, like it's executed enough. You know what I'm saying? My mouse died. Okay, we're back. But okay, here's the thing though. I mentioned about ... another tiny fold that I think if that one were to try to top the craziness of this, it would be in the area of execution. So I think if ... design was like really flush, really clean, no wrinkles, no tiny creases, with the same kind of form, which again is kind of asking the impossible. It would have a better chance against something like this, which is kind of the opposite approach. You know, absolutely insane a level of detail, totally sacrificing like proportions and shaping and execution. It's like you're really pitting the two sides and see like, okay, what are people going to vote for? Are they going to vote for technicality or going to vote for creativity? And that's always a hot debate, right? So that would make a really good battle. Regardless, I think both are really insane. I think this one is just like mind breaking. Like it's got that wow factor that everyone's just like drawn to. And like the presentation, again, the presentation and execution are decent enough that you can tell what's going on. Yeah, I've very much appreciated maple syrup for the past like, you know, year of seeing insane things. Definitely really like this as well. Shangnara put it a great way. Any imperfection can be easily ignored because it's insane, and that's valid with this case here. It's so insane. Yeah, so if you're curious, check out that crease pattern. I'm not going to show on stream because I want you to just check out maple syrup. You have to join the Discord, I think, to see it right now. But check out that crease pattern and get a second mind-blowing reaction for yourself. It's so nuts. But yeah, shout out maple syrup. Shout out everyone in this competition, especially this 1v1v1. This is like one of the craziest sets of battles that have been done. You know, from Chris, from Anise, from maple syrup, massive level ups from the folder. You know, really creative, really funny folds. Everyone competing, high level. They're going for that cash prize. They want to win. Y'all can help decide who you like. Go check out Origami-dan and vote. But that's going to wrap up this video. Thank you everybody for watching. Give all these folders a follow on their Instagram if they have one. Really support them. Tell them what a great job they did. And I'll see you in the next video. Okay, that was for YouTube. And I totally didn't look at the camera at the end. But okay, that's going to wrap it up. I'm going to stop recording now so we don't lose that. Okay, cool. Only an hour and 20 minutes to edit this time instead of 2 hours. This should be a little bit faster of a video to pump out. But yeah, what did y'all think? What did y'all think? We're in a chill mode now. That's kind of the end of today's big content. All right, that's our schedule. Yo, Navdeep, thank you for subscribing to my channel. Welcome, welcome. Thanks for tuning into the stream as well. Yo, good to have you here. Mr. Paperfold says hello. Sorry, I missed Instagram. It like totally like stopped for me. Okay, Sold Monk says it's cool, but Dragon Knight is next level. Unfortunately, I don't know which one that was referencing, but if it's my Dragon Knight, thank you. But no, these were insane. These models were so crazy. Bodo, that emote, accurate, man. Yeah, so you know, this is just round 2. It's gonna be sad to see losers go, but I think with the winners, no matter who it is, we're gonna see some really cool stuff in the future. I'm really excited. You know, we see some massive level ups from everyone. I even remember like Chris, his first death battle. You know, he was ready for box plate. He was cooking, working on his shaping skills, and from like the start to the end of that death battle, and then like even the next year with the next one, the level up was insane, like crazy. Even just like the attempted designs that went on, because it's a competition, really pushes some people, and some people are able to really use that to their advantage to grow themselves. And I think we started to see that here. Like obviously maple syrup pumping out one of the most insane designs people have ever seen. Anise, again, really showcasing his style and ability for complex form that like nobody else can do. Right? We see the folder leveling up with just one round in terms of proportion. Uh, Really awesome to see. Really awesome to see from everyone. Like crazy, absolutely crazy. Some banger designs this go around. Very true. So yeah, massive shout out to everyone. Very impressive. Shout out to Hifya and Trox and the other mods for setting up this death battle. Wouldn't happen without y'all. Everyone give a round of applause for the mods. Put in some hard work, getting all these voting things ready. Good stuff. Death battle, guys. This is the future of origami. We're pushing together as a community, right? Like who else is pumping out stuff like this so quickly for a competitive win, right? One of the only cash prize, or I think this is the biggest pool. I think last year the prize pool was like $300 or more, right? Crazy. The final's gonna be insane. Yeah, that's so true, Glenn. Yeah, thanks, Ifya. Truth. Truth. Yo, Bork, put my you put my stream in the is your bio over here? Yeah, thanks, man. All right. As you can tell, my voice is getting a little bit tired. The last part that I had planned for the stream was like tips and tricks. We kind of did that in the beginning. So I mentioned in the beginning about this design. I've actually received quite a lot of questions recently. So in the beginning, I explained how the back works. So I'm doing like the spine method. And Eric just had a question on how it actually worked. And someone else had a question. They didn't realize it was supposed to be like this. So their torso was like way too long. And I'm like, okay, if you shorten it, then you're good. But yeah, I am teaching this at the Origami USA convention in New York in like 2 weeks. So we're working on speed running this. I'm mentioning that because while only 10 people get to learn it there, potentially hundreds get to learn if I turn this into a tutorial. However, the tutorial is going to be voted on by everyone for my 20,000 subscriber mark. I'm a little biased. I hope you guys vote for this one. But honestly, any of the ones that get chosen, it's going to be pretty cool. One of them is Square Twist Samurai. That's just a cool model, right? One is this guy. One is the pirate. Pirate's super cool. I'm going to redesign it to fix the problem. But in general, that's just like a really cool design. So we'll see which one wins the tutorial. But if y'all want to fold this one, you know, it'd probably be the better quality model to teach, just because it's like more suited for a sequence. All right, so I think with that, if anyone has any other questions, feel free to type Square Twist Samurai. Yeah, I know that'd make me make another samurai, low-key. I think the pirate is my favorite on there. Yeah, the pirate's really cool. The one I don't really want is the Square Twist Samurai. I think it'd be the least interesting because I've done so many samurai already. The pirate would be really cool, and it'd give me an excuse to redesign it and refold it. And then this one would be really cool. Make a dragon tutorial. Dragons are hype because of HOD. Is that House of it's like the Game of Thrones. Well, the thing is, Sold Monk, I made a dragon tutorial last year for the two-headed dragon. And that one did pretty well. So I think it's a little too early to do another dragon tutorial. So I don't have any of those right now. I do have some dragon diagrams coming out very soon. I teased those a little bit earlier, but the first editions are going to be sold at the New York convention. So if that interests people, that's something I've been working on for a long time. That'll be really interesting. But we'll take a small break from dragons. You know, you are right. The dragon tutorials get the most views. But Red Luca says, "Can you make a dragon?" Well, thanks. Yeah, so dragons have been done. You can go to my YouTube channel right now and learn the two-headed dragon. And like you can see them up there, right? Pretty cool. Shangnar, it's raining here so bad. What's the weather there? So the weather today, I think it was 44 degrees Celsius outside. Studio B, where I am right now, is in a desert. So it's really hot. It's really dry. So if we have 44 Celsius, dry heat. So it's better than 40 Celsius with rain because it's not humid, but the sun is so strong that if you like stand outside too long, you feel yourself cooking. Right, Luca, I love origami. So that's, oh, sweet. Follow the host. Yo, thank you, man. Hey, Red Luca, thanks for the follow, man. I've got some cool origami. If you haven't seen all of it, definitely check it out. There's a lot on there that I think everyone will like a little bit. So yeah, and feel free, send me messages on like Instagram if you have questions, comment on YouTube to, you know, if you have questions about the tutorials there. But I hope you enjoy. Thank you for the follow. 44 Celsius is crazy. Yeah, it's hot, man. It's hot. Peak of summer, you know. Studio A, though, where I'm going in 1 week, is a little bit, it's probably like 30, I think. Like maybe 30, 32. But there's more of a breeze, so it doesn't feel as hot. And there's a little bit of humidity, but it's not bad. Just experienced 53. Okay, yeah. That's crazy. That's actually crazy. And then it's raining really badly. Shagnar, you got like the both ends of rough weather. That is tough. Can you make a plant? Have I done plants before? I think the closest thing I've done to plants is like flowers. So I made like roses for people before. I have a bug here. This is designed by Kota Imai, a Japanese designer. Very famous for bugs, but this is a bug. This is a water beetle. That's cool, right? Not my design, but very cool. Kota Imai. This is with double tissue, I believe. Yeah, 53 is crazy. Monsoon season. Oh, is it monsoon yet? Where I am? There is a monsoon season where I'm at. I don't think it's yet. I think in a month it'll be monsoon season. I thought Texas was hot. Yeah, 53 is nuts. Oh, talking like a month ago. I guess, yeah, it's July now, right? I can make flowers. Yeah, flowers are really fun. I do like flowers. And you can give them to people, and I think everyone can recognize what it is. I found those beetles in Japan. Nice. You don't want to get stung by them, for sure. I happen to have the Phoenix here. This is the version 1 Phoenix. We'll do a little show and tell to finish off the stream. But yeah, Phoenix 1. Some people like this better than Phoenix 2. It's arguable. It has a short tail, but people like the structure better for the rest of it. 44 is the most I've had in Texas, but most years it only gets to 38. That's true. Texas is it's interesting. Y'all also had like the snowstorm. That's pretty wild. That would never happen where I am in. I am currently, so I'm at Studio B right now. That's in Arizona. So yeah, it's pretty hot right now. You Red Lucas in Hawaii. Oh, fun. I imagine it is also pretty warm over there. Tropical, but I know people like to go there on vacation for the summers, so maybe it is nice. I've never been to Hawaii before. But. Okay, let me think. Any other thing I have to mention? Some people asked about the backflip project. Once again, I am in Studio B. The backflip project is happening in Studio A. So we're going to get to that when I'm back. So starting next week. I also was thinking about commissioning a special display stand, but it might not happen in time, and I haven't been able to design it properly, so I might end up just 3D printing it. But I kind of have to still think, because I need a display stand for all 7 that I can transport. If it's too big, I won't be able to like bring it around with me or ship it. 28's nothing. Oh. Yeah, maybe if they're not used to it, then 28 is that is pretty funny though. 28 seems like nothing for UK. Oh, that is true. If they don't have air conditioning, then it is pretty brutal for 28. The nice thing about where I am is there's air conditioning in most places. All right, yo, shout out to Hawaii. Thanks for tuning in. Have some good rest. Thanks for joining the stream. Yeah, this is good stuff. And I'm happy I can read TikTok chat at the same time now. This is cool. I think now the hardest one to read is Instagram, because Instagram like has the joins and the comments in the same row, and they don't change like text color or icon, so it's like really hard to read. Just open a window. Yeah, at 28, you can probably have a window and a fan, and it'd be okay. If it's like 40 plus or 50, that's not going to do anything. You're just cooking. All right, so I think that's going to wrap up the stream. Thanks for everyone for watching. Once again, this is going to turn into a YouTube video, so if you didn't get to see everything, no worries. I'm going to edit it down so you can just rewatch. But this also has been recorded, so you can just rewatch the stream too if you'd like. I give some tips in the beginning. We look at some origami in the beginning. I have some crazy announcements. And then we get to the origami battle review. Yeah, some absolutely insane designs, really talented folders. Next week, I'm back in Studio A. We're going to finish off the origami collection review. And right now, our current collection tally is like $13,000, I think. So we have one more case to go through, a whole bunch of books to look at. We're going to see what the grand finale is. And I'm going to tell you, next week, there's going to be a prize for the person who gets closest to the total amount at the end. And that's going to be sponsored by Mark Ogami. Yeah, you guys know Mark. You see him modding the chat sometimes. So huge shout out to Mark. We're actually going to be looking a little bit more at what Mark, some of Mark's designs, as well as what the prize actually is. I'm going to keep that a secret for now, but just, be aware that if you're at least there in the beginning of the stream, you can submit your guess for the total answer. And then whoever's closest at the very end is going to win that prize. So make sure to come to next week's stream. It's going to be really big. I'm going to try to plan it at a time that's like decent enough for everyone to at least try to submit their guess. Maybe I'll even have I think what I'll do is I'll do a post the day before so people can comment. So we'll make sure to try to get everyone as close as possible. We'll let people comment. We'll let people guess at the beginning of the stream as we feature Mark's work. And then we'll go through the collection. I don't even know what the tally is going to be, but whoever's closest is going to win that prize. So stay tuned. I'll see you all next week. Look forward to maybe another video in between, maybe not. But I hope everyone has a wonderful weekend. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. All right. Bye-bye.